start our classes. Let's play it together. Start. Finish. So I will check attendance list first. Please raise your hand and say present. Ami Swatun Harsana. Present, Miss. Siva Maharani. Present, Miss. Ade Nurul Fadila. Present, Miss. Aditya Nugraha. Absent. Nisa. Present, Miss. Umi Hani Anjani. Present, Miss. Okay, thank you. So today I would like to show you about media. I got this from YouTube. Do you know YouTube? Yes. You got so many information from YouTube. And for this material, I would like you to pay attention on a video that I got from YouTube. The title, if I'm not mistaken, is the 5 horrible origin of Princess Disney or the character in Disney. So please on it because I will ask you in the end of the video. This is the media.
Oh, we like you. We really like you too. She's nice, very.
Well, let's just.
The story we all know goes like this. Cinderella's mom dies, so her dad marries a wicked woman with 2 annoying and dumb wicked daughters.
What'd you say, huh?
I don't know.
You clumsy!
After her dad dies too, she becomes the housemaid until she finds out that she has a fairy godmother.
And this too, Cinderella, my slippers. Now don't forget things.
Very well.
Mother, I don't see why everybody else seems to have...
Who helps her get a nice dress, a carriage made out of pumpkin, some horses, a carriage boy, and a pair of beautiful glass slippers.
Handle the reins. Yes, the finishing touch. And that's you. Yeah. Now, don't.
The story continues as she goes to the ball, falls in love with the prince, but has to run away before the clock struck 12. Because that's when all her magical dress, carriage, horses, etc. would vanish. However, as she hurries away from the prince, she leaves a glass slipper in the staircase, and the prince goes out in the search of his beloved Cinderella.
Important things to discuss. Arrangements for the wedding. Your Majesty, please. A knighthood.
But the good part is that the story ends with Cinderella marrying the prince, according to the glass slipper law. Well, the real story is a bit skewed from the one we know. In the end, when the glass slipper was supposed to be tried on, one of the sisters chopped off her toes, while the other sliced off her own heel to fit in. This doesn't end here. The sisters get attacked by the doves from the heaven that peck at their eyes as a punishment from God for what they did to Cinderella. Okay, none of us love those sisters, but ouch. 4. The Little Mermaid.
I don't know. It's scary. No, it's not. It's sad. Come on!
This story of a redhead beautiful mermaid is still one of the most famous Disney stories recognized worldwide. As if the others aren't. This is the story of a beautiful little mermaid, Ariel.
His teeth are bigger than I am. Come on. Come on. It's all right. Nobody's gonna...
Who is the 7th daughter of the King Triton and Queen Athena of an underwater kingdom of merfolk called Atlantica.
What's that girl doing in there now?
Ariel, you know he shouldn't be in love with her, and he's gonna kiss her.
And she's only got 3 days. Just look at her! On legs!
And another major plot twist is that the prince does not fall in love with the mermaid, because if he did, then every time he kissed her he would transfer part of his soul into her body, giving her an afterlife. Ariel decides to give a huge sacrifice for her husband by jumping into the sea on her wedding day after she gets married to him. 3. Pinocchio.
Conscience. Nah, phooey.
This tale of a boy is often used to teach children about not lying and stuff, but the real version is more than just that. The watchmaker made him and sewed clothes for him as if he was a real boy, and the next morning that toy could talk. In the end that we know, the wooden boy turns into a real human being, and he lives happily ever after with his father. In the real version, Pinocchio wasn't a good boy at all. He murdered Jiminy the Cricket in the first act. Geppetto, Pinocchio's father, goes to jail for negligence, and when he comes out he sells his only coat so that he can send Pinocchio to the school and buy him school books. But Pinocchio buys theater tickets with that money instead. Concluding this story, Pinocchio is much worse in the real version, as compared to the one we know, and in the end he dies as two other characters hung him by the tree, saying their last goodbyes to him. 2. Snow White.
There's the bed. Where will you sleep?
Oh, we'll be quite comfortable. Don't worry about us. We'll be all right.
This tale of a black-haired, beautiful princess whose stepmother tries to kill her has a dark side to it as well. Shocking but true. According to the version that we have been aware of so far, this is a story of a beautiful princess named Snow White who lives with her stepmother after her father dies.
Twa, twa, twa.
Her father always taught her to be fair, and this fairness caused her a great problem later in life. Her stepmother used to go up to the mirror and say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?"
Magic mirror on the wall.
Oh, white, fairest one of...
And to this the mirror would reply, "Snow White" every time. The queen made her huntsman to kill her, but he let her go after confessing this in the woods with Snow White.
She can pick wildflowers.
Yeah. But your majesty, the little princess.
Silence!
She falls off from the cliff of a mountain, according to our version, but in the real version she is made to wear hot iron shoes and dance until she dies on the wedding of the princess. Yikes! 1. Winnie the Pooh.
That's not the shape I left it in.
Pooh! Just the...
This story of a group of animals who are friends and live together in a jungle with their human friend Christopher Robin.
Ooh. Well, would you look what came out in the wash? I've become a rather bubbly bear. What are you doing here, Pooh?
It's pretty cute, as long as it's the Disney version. The reality is pretty twisted and disturbing, as each character from the movie has one sort of mental illness or another. Starting with the cute chubby yellow fellow, Winnie the Pooh is said to have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD.
Oh, buddy!
Oh, I need some help to do, Tigger. I want to hang these pictures on my wall, but they simply won't fit. And I simply don't know why.
Piglet suffers from generalized anxiety, Eeyore has depression, Tigger has hyperactivity and impulsivity, and Rabbit has OCD. Our young boy Christopher Robin does not come clean as well. All of this is said to be an illusion. Christopher's adventures with all these animals are just inside his head.
No.
That is the video. What do you think about the video? It's very horrifying. Yeah. Because the Disney is not as good as we think. So I would like to answer from the first character is about Cinderella. What happened in the origin story of Cinderella? Siva, her stepsister cut her foot to be suitable for the graciousness. That's right. That means you understand about the video. And the next character is, who knows the next character? Pinocchio. No. Mermaid. Who knows the origin, the story of Mermaid? Honey?
In the origin story of Mermaid, actually her boyfriend doesn't love Mermaid, and then Mermaid has killed herself to the sea, and then she becomes a bubble.
That's right. And the next character is about Pinocchio. Pinocchio, he killed the genies who made the Pinocchio, and also I think Pinocchio is not as we think. That's right. And the fourth character is, who knows the fourth character? Snow White. Snow White. Who wants to explain? Me. Ada yang dulu? The original story of Snow White is when Snow White met the gnome. The gnome is not treat her good. They force Snow White to do hard things, and then when the queen is pretend to be a granny and come to Snow White's house and ask her to eat the apple, the Snow White is dead. She is not cured by the prince or meeting someone. It's not true. And then because of the death, Snow White death, the queen is cursed by so she should wear a fire suit that can burn her feet. She should dance with that suit until she met her death. That's right. And what is the last character of
Winnie the Pooh?
Who want to explain about Winnie the Pooh? Anis?
The origin of the story of Winnie the Pooh, that the Winnie the Pooh had a disease that is COD, and then his friend, like another animal, just his imagination.
Okay, thank you. That's right. Thank you for you all that explained about the video style. And from this, we know that the YouTube is very useful for our material, that we can, for example, improving our listening comprehension, like we just do now. And it's very useful, so I hope you open YouTube and watch so many videos that YouTubers make. It's very useful for you all to develop your skills. So thank you for your nice attention. We will say Alhamdulillah to end this material. Alhamdulillahirobbilalamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.